This is my quirky recipe for soft milk bread. Despite its rustic appearance, this loaf has a delicate soft texture and subtle milky flavor. I don't have a mixer or bread machine, so I created this recipe to be as easy as possible to make by hand. In a large bowl, I have 240 grams of slightly warm milk and 40 grams of slightly warm water. Add 25 grams of sugar, 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast. I use instant, but dry active would be okay too. If you're in a hot environment, you can use just 2 teaspoons. A quick stir to dissolve the yeast. It's okay if not completely dissolved. I'll be stirring more shortly. Add 200 grams of bread flour. Stir to form a batter. Don't worry about small lumps. Continue to stir vigorously for about 30 seconds. This is to help develop the gluten. Cover and leave in a warm spot for 10 to 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, the consistency is very thick and gooey and lumpy. I add a little over 1 teaspoon of salt. You can use 1 1/2 teaspoon if you like. 25 grams of melted butter. If you want a sweeter flavor, more like a typical Asian style bread, you can also add more sugar now. Stir into the batter. Add 200 grams of bread flour. Stir to form a wet and sticky dough. If your environment is very humid and your dough is looking more like a batter, you can add another 20 grams of flour. But this dough is supposed to be wet and sticky. It struggles to hold together as one lump. Leave it aside for a few minutes, just to give the flour a chance to absorb the liquid. In the meantime, I prepare a loaf pan by brushing on some butter. Set aside. Lay down a large piece of plastic wrap. I use 2 layers if using very thin plastic. Brush all over with a light coating of vegetable oil. I have used this trick in my other bread videos. Put the dough on top. After just a few minutes of rest, the dough is now holding together much more. Using the plastic, flatten the dough. Then fold and press out. I work on the dough for about 1 to 2 minutes. This is enough to make the dough tighten up. Still a little tacky, but okay to handle. Form a log shape. I'm cutting it into 4 pieces using a lightly oiled dinner knife. Cut straight down without dragging the knife, so I don't cut through the plastic. Take a piece, flatten it out. This dough is easy to handle, but if you find it sticky, just dab a tiny amount of vegetable oil on your fingers. Don't use any more flour. You can use the plastic wrap on top to help if you like. You can even use a rolling pin. Do a trifold. Press. Another trifold the other way. Press. Flip over and repeat. The dough is now very tight and bouncy. A last trifold to bring the 2 sides together and pinch a little to hold the shape. Set the seam side down. Work on each piece like this, and that's the kneading done. So I put the whole lot on the tray, space out the pieces, cover with the plastic and place in a warm spot to proof for 20 to 30 minutes. This is my dough after 25 minutes. They have almost doubled in size. Here I'm just showing you the elasticity of the dough. It can be stretched quite thin before it tears. Press to flatten. Flip over. The bottom tends to be a little wetter. A trifold into a long rectangle. Press out. You can use a rolling pin if you like. Roll it up. No need to pinch the seam, just set the seam side down. Place them in the loaf pan. Brush on a little bell butter. This is optional. Cover and proof for 25 to 35 minutes. Before the end of proofing time, preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius or 160 for fan oven. This is my dough after 30 minutes. They have not quite doubled, maybe 80% bigger. This dough is very beginner friendly. Even if it's slightly underproofed, it will expand a good amount during baking. Bake for 32 to 38 minutes. The ideal baking time and temperature depend on your oven and how you like your crust. I bake mine for a total of 35 minutes. After the first 10 minutes, I turn the temperature down by 10 degrees Celsius. I like a strong color crust. If you want a more pale looking crust, try turning the temperature down sooner and by 15 degrees, and you can cover with foil halfway. While hot out of the oven, I brush on some butter. This is optional. It helps to soften the crust a little bit. Tip out and cool on a wire rack. It's best to leave to cool for an hour before cutting into it, but I was worried about losing daylight for filming, so I break into mine after about 20 minutes. It's soft with a good bounce. The crumb structure is tight yet fluffy and airy. It's just subtly sweet, perfect for sandwiches. Keep in an airtight container and stay soft for 2-3 days. Thanks for watching. Please like or share if you have enjoyed this video. I will be creating more quirky, easy baking recipes, so please subscribe.